SKUR is a secure platform for email, messaging, and with me is the CEO, Alain Ghiai, to update us on how the business is going. And also, Alain, I wanted to talk to you about the Twitter situation. So there were those emails, I guess, or maybe they were text messages.
Thanks.
Between, Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, talking about what needed to happen with the company. They were released in court. Very interesting for us to watch. I'm not sure how they felt about it being released, but how would SKUR have handled that situation, or how would it be different if they were using SKUR's platform?
Yeah, so that's actually a really good point, because this has to do with the U.S. Patriot Act, the Cloud Act of 2018, and Cybersecurity Act of 2015. All these acts, all these laws, basically let you subpoena the information of anything, essentially. So all of the big tech companies, any kind of US company, even if they're hosted in Switzerland, for example, like Microsoft or Amazon, any of those big companies, they have a duty also to comply with the Cloud Act or Cybersecurity Act. So we are different in the way that when you are getting a lawsuit, because we don't use a third party, obviously US, they're the biggest and the only cloud companies, really. Because we don't use a third-party cloud hosting, we have our own infrastructure, and it's in Switzerland, we have to obey only by the Swiss data privacy laws. That doesn't mean that you can really do some bad act and just hide from the government, because we do have laws in Switzerland that will, a federal judge can come to us in Switzerland and say, this person has been searched by Interpol and he's an international criminal, please hand us over his account. All right, and then they can do whatever they can. We don't know what's happening in the account. If you delete all your information, it's gone for good. But if you keep it and a federal judge has access to it, obviously they have access to the information. So the difference is that if you're being sued, like Elon Musk, if he was using Secure Messenger, at the very least, his lawyers would have had the discovery process advantage. That means that nobody would have been able to subpoena the data just from a lawsuit in the US. His lawyers would have had the notice, obviously, and being able to prepare themselves to defend themselves. So it's a huge thing, and mostly with emails, because if you don't have the chance to defend yourself, which is a normal rights that everybody has when they're being accused, then you're at a disadvantage when your opponent already subpoenaed all your data from the telco or the other cloud provider. So again, it's not like to hide from criminal activities. It's just basically protecting your basic right to defend your opinion. And with SKUR, they would have had that. So Elon Musk, if he had SKUR, whether the email or the messenger, his lawyer would have had time to prepare their discovery process and dossier for an answer.
Oh, that's really interesting. So I guess the lesson is for companies, IT departments, to work with legal to understand the implications of where you're set up and what that might mean down the road.
Well, it's beyond that, because the IT department has one of those big tech providers, right? The lawyers don't even go to the IT company of the accused. They literally just go to the hosting provider, whoever provides the email or the telco or whoever you want. Obviously, when you have text message, the telcos, it's an open book to anyone. So then you have what? Messenger, that's your other option. But then they're all big tech, and they have to comply with the Cloud Act. So we have to comply with Swiss privacy rules only, and that's only because we're not using an infrastructure that's hosted by a third party. So, if they have email, and now because of that archiving feature that we have on Messenger, it actually is amazing for companies, because now it gives them the legal defense, because before it was like, well, we have to have something the way we can have an archiving system. You can't just self-destruct everything. So now they have that advantage. So I would recommend any company, small or big, Mr. Musk or Jim Jones or whoever, to really look at Sekur, because they will have at least a discovery process advantage. Their data is safe, and then they can prepare for their defense.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the market overall. It's kind of struggled this year. September was horrible. I mean, what's your opinion about the market, tech, Sekur in particular?
I use the word small disturbances. Struggling is a very understated, just like disturbance. It's a very Swiss thing to do, to minimize and not panic. But between you and I, I've been buying in the market. I have a lot of options and warrants that are due, and I figured I'm going to exercise them in the market to show that our company is extremely undervalued. I mean, we're trading at 3x cash, probably 1.5 times book. Our quarterly earnings are increasing. Our Q3 was good. Q4 will be even better. Our yearly sales are increasing, and we're being punished with the rest of the market. I think it's like, I don't like this expression, but they say you throw the baby and the bathwater and the baby with it. That's what's happening. We are in a very strong financial position. We have a strong balance sheet. We have no debt. And I'm hoping that with the midterm election, if it takes the turn that I hear it may take, that could boost the market a little bit. And then maybe you'll see it down. I was reading that the Federal Reserve is going to raise another 0.75 points, probably twice, maybe once, then 0.5 point and 25%. So if they raise 0.25 point in March, I think market, because the precursor, by November, December, they'll increase, because now the hike is over. But it's tough, because a lot of companies need to raise money, and they're having a hard time. We don't need to raise money at all. We have plenty until profitability.
Yeah, well, and that's in a downturn, to have no debt and a strong balance sheet is where you want to be. And that sounds like that's where Sekur is.
Yeah, and we have recurring revenues that are increasing every year. So eventually we're going to have a profitability. We made a lot of internal calculation and scenarios, worst case and things like that. And we still project to be profitable by 2025. I know it may seem long for some people. If we do our upgrade to NASDAQ, if that happens, then profitability is sooner. But one thing is for sure is we're very careful with our cash. We're not burning too much cash. Sometimes when you have a low cash burn and you have the advantage of adoption of your product, it works hand in hand, and then eventually it'll move up. We'll see. We have a couple of good partnerships lined up, but we'll see next year how they pan out. If they pan out how they are telling us, then we're going to be profitable a lot sooner. If not, our fallback is profit by 2025. So I encourage people to look at it. It's literally, this is like 2020, the prices, pretty much.
Okay. And finally, so you've got a promo code for people who would like to buy Sekur. Tell us about that.
In this recessionary time, I want to give everybody a discount because everybody can use a discount. So if you use Sekur 15, SEKUR15, you get 15% off an entire year. If you buy a yearly account, by the way, you already get 17% off, because you get 2 months for free. So if you buy a yearly account with Sekur 15, you get more than 30% off, 33%. And that's a great deal. And I think people are going to love the product, and at least they'll get the privacy that they deserve and the security that they deserve for their data.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have like backup platforms too for things. And as they get used to it, they may decide to make that their main platform.
Yes, because you can move your domain to us as well. I mean, I have like 3-4 different emails, and we have our company email obviously as well. If you're a small business and you're watching us, I encourage you to buy the business solution. You can port your domain to us, or just buy a consumer one. Later you upgrade to business. It's an easy tool. And then the messenger, especially with our chat by invite and other feature, is extremely worth it. But I think a lot of people buy the email because they know that we don't data mine, we don't do location tracking or anything like that. And you get 100 gigabytes, which is a lot of storage. So.
Okay. Well, Alain, always great to see you. I'll see you in person next week.
Definitely looking forward to coming to New York and see you.
Thanks. See you then.
Thanks, Jean.